Okay folks, this is Delta Mike down and out in Torrevieja. In the next few hours we have thunderstorms rolling in and we're going to have them continuously for the next week or so apparently. With that in mind, I'm trying to make some food before I crawl into bed and hibernate for the next 24 hours minimum. Okay folks, Delta Mike again. Here's my campsite such as it is. Here's the tent, which is basically just a 6 meter by 4 meter tarpaulin strung across, I think I've got 6 mop handles and a couple of arches made from tree branches bent over and tied together. I'm going to try and make some food now before getting into bed and weathering the storm. With that in mind, we've got some carrots, onions and garlic ready chopped. We've got a couple of jars with what do we got? Lentils, chickpeas and some white beans and a couple of stock cubes. I think 3 or 4 stock cubes. I think 2 chicken, 2 vegetable. And I've got my new camp stove over by the tent. We're going to go over, get that going and begin. Okay folks, we're ready to cook. Just one ingredient I forgot to mention before. I've got potatoes chopped or diced small, and there's a similar amount diced a little bit larger. The small ones are intended to kind of boil away into the stew and just provide a thickening to the overall sauce. Okay, let's add. Okay. Add some cooking oil to the pan. A good splodge. Now I'm in a bit of a dodgy location. I wouldn't normally cook just here, but I needed somewhere out of the wind, which is picking up. So the oil's running quite nicely, loosening up a bit. So in go the onions, and I guess there's garlic over there as well. Okay. Whoa. Some of the carrot as well, I guess. Oh. Let's just give that a minute. I'll go and get something to stir that with. Meet Tina. There's my doggy friend, little lady. Hey Tina girl. Shout out to my personal chef, Chef Jean-Pierre on YouTube. Always start with the onions, unless you've got bacon. Today no bacon, so we start with the onions. He wouldn't have put the garlic in so early, but hey ho. in with the rest of the onions and the carrots. Well, the bits that haven't been dropped on the floor already anyway. Let's pop the lid on for a minute. Okay, back to the cooking. Things are coming along quite nicely. Let's just check that everything's. Feels like that far side isn't as hot. Don't know. In with the potato. Okay folks, Delta Mike still cooking up a storm in Torrevieja. Let's get ready to add the remaining ingredients. There we go. Looking good. Let's give that a quick stir. A little bit. Maybe I could have turned the heat down a little bit. So we've got some white beans. And they're not going to come out easily, are they? Of course not. And I can't get them out one-handed. So how are we going to do this? Might have to put the camera down a second. Let's just, what do we got? Put them to one side for a second. We've got garbanzo beans, or chickpeas, as they're otherwise known. In the liquid, they're cooked in the liquid, the aquafaba. And they're starting to go. Got half of them. And we've got lentils. Again, already cooked. In the liquid. Come on, you bugger. There again, we got about half. I'll get the spoon on them in a second and get the rest. Or get an appropriate amount anyway. That might be enough looking at it. Because I've got another set of potatoes to add. So maybe we've got enough of those ingredients. Maybe we'll save the rest for another day. So next is some liquid, which is going to be stock, which is basically just water plus the stock cubes. Let me do that now. I'll need my hand, so let me do that and I'll be right back. As I said, I've just added the stock cubes, the water and the final potatoes. Gave it a quick stir, and now we're just going to turn up the heat a bit. See if we can't get that boiling pretty sharpish, and then try and work out what lid goes back on what jar. Point the camera in the right direction. And there we are. trying to cook up a nice warm stew before the storm comes in tonight. Get some hot food and meat. No meat in this one, just vegetables. The stock cubes, 2 vegetable stock cubes, 2 chicken stock cubes, just for flavour. And we just give that time to get boiling. Check back soon. Okay. So it looks like we're starting to boil. Let's take the lid off and have a quick look. Oh yeah, it's going nicely. Turn it down a bit, let it simmer for 5 or 10 minutes. Not turn it down too far, but let it simmer for 5 or 10 minutes. I'll give it a quick stir and then let it simmer. Okay. Wait for some of those potatoes to break down a bit. Let's give it another 10 or 15 minutes. Then we'll add some salt and pepper. Maybe take it off the heat for a while so I can do something else and put it back on later. Check back soon. I've added the salt and pepper. I wanted to do it on camera, but I realised I didn't have enough hands. Sorry about that. So here we are. It's bubbling away nicely. Those potatoes are breaking down and some of the other veg. It'll start to thicken a little bit. What I might do is bring the heat back up. Bring it to a bit more of a boil, and then take it off the heat so that I can do some coffee. So just heat that up for a few minutes while I prepare coffee. Okay, folks. The water, I think, is boiling. It's important it boils this time because this was untrusted water from a bad source. It gives a bad stomach if not boiled properly. So that's boiling, ready to go and make the coffee, which I'll do in a second. And what I'm going to do now is put the stew back on to boil, and I'm going to add a little bit of stale bread, baguette that wasn't just stale. I mean, it's rock hard, it's solid. I've just had to chop that up. I'm going to put that in as a, I don't know, kind of a dumpling, or it should also soak up some of that liquid and just help thicken things up a little bit. Goes in, quick stir. Quick stir. Put the lid back on. Turn the heat up a little bit because it's a bigger pan. Just check on the big pot. It shouldn't be long before it's back up to the boil. Another quick stir. Gusting properly now. more shit doesn't blow into the stove. Okay folks, check back soon. Okay folks, we're back. It's about 8:15 on Monday the 22nd of May. Don't know how well the skyline shows up. Still okay, very windy, but it's time to eat. So let's dish this up. Let's turn it off. Turn it off. Bring it down onto the floor. Apologies, I don't have so many hands. And let's dish up a portion. There we go. Complete with those dumplings. Tina, shush. Tina, shut the fuck up. Be quiet, girl. Okay, I'm sure it'll be better. The second portion later will be even better. As stews go, second or third day is usually best. So, I'm going to grab that, grab my second cup of coffee, sit down and have a bite to eat before the oncoming storm comes to get us. Oh, look at that. Grab a coffee and a bite to eat before the storm. Catch you later, folks. Okay. That was delicious. There you go, sweetheart. Yes, yes. There you go, keep it going. Careful, hot, hot, hot. Careful, careful. Yeah, that's nice. So there we go, folks. It's like a chicken stew, but just without the chicken. Chicken flavoured. And the bread, the stale baguette as dumplings worked well. Quite enjoyable. Warm and filling. I'll maybe have another bowl, I don't know, in an hour or so. Till then, I'll enjoy my coffee. Round 2. And the weather, still not too bad. It's blowing a gale. The tent developed 3 more tears just while we were cooking, which I haven't patched yet. They're just above the door. It's small but horizontal. I'll have to patch those before things get much worse. But that's it until the oncoming storm. The forecast is for storms continuously for the next week, apart from, I think there's a break on Wednesday where it's just raining but not thunder and lightning. But that's it's going to be quite a week. I don't know. It's a bit of a worry. Delta Mike out.